Cowboys all in, LeBron, Super Bowl. I got a picture of LeBron. This is good. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4.
All right, hello, welcome back to Trash Talkin.
I'm Reg.
I'm E. Thanks for coming back after our first pilot episode. We got some pretty decent reviews, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we just recapped last week. We did the NFL honors. We talked about Luka Doncic. We talked about the Chiefs. We talked about the Niners and Lions. And this week, we have a lot more to talk about. Obviously, it is now the most important week in football. Basketball is ramping up. Trade deadlines tomorrow. There's a lot of things to talk about. And obviously, Jerry Jones, he never really shuts his mouth. So there's always something to talk about with the Cowboys. So we're going to lead off with a topic that's close to my heart and something that's really had a strain on my heart lately. And we're going to talk about Jerry Jones. He said, I think 2 weeks ago, he said that the Cowboys are going to go all in this year. He says that pretty much every week, so every year. So what do you think about Jerry Jones saying the Cowboys will go all in this year? Will we make any significant moves in this offseason?
Well, you're a Cowboy fan. Jerry Jones just likes to hear himself talk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't take anything he says legit. Because if he was all in, that coach, Mike McCarthy, would have been gone the day after they lost to the Packers. And Jerry has a gold mine, and he talks just so people don't forget about the Cowboys because he wants to be in the limelight. He's not going to be in the Super Bowl, so how can he get his team to be in the Super Bowl? Well, he says stupid things, and then people start talking about him. And he knows he has a gold mine, and he knows, don't take this as an offense, but the Cowboy fans are some of the dumbest in sports. They get their hopes up in September, October, and he leads them on, only for disappointment in late December and January. If he really cared about the team, he would have fired the coach, but he's going to have trouble getting a coach play for him because nobody wants to listen to him. He wants to run the show, and he doesn't trust anybody. So he's not going to get a guy like Belichick. There was a lot of coaches out there that I thought they had a chance of getting this year. Yeah. And he keeps a guy that has won one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, and Dak Prescott in the Cowboy teams they've had. So don't tell me he's a good coach. So he's keeping him another year, and he's wasting all that young talent that they have. They have a great team. The needs that they have, I would say maybe go get another offensive lineman. Defensive back to go beside Diggs, and possibly a running back. Maybe get Josh Jacobs. If they ran the ball more, that
was the biggest problem to me.
Exactly, and they got a Christmas present when Dan Quinn left because he was a terrible coach. So now I heard today that maybe they're going to get Rex Ryan an interview. That would be a great guy, but I don't know if Rex and Jerry will get along. I mean, I don't know if anybody can get along with Jerry, but the biggest problem they have is him. And I think they have the talent. They obviously win a lot of games. They got a little bit of money under the cap that they can go spend. I think they're that close. But I think the coach is always going to drag them down, and that's Jerry's fault. And I feel sorry for the players because they have the talent. Sometimes they don't have the scheme. And I just think he knows he has a sellout crowd every game. He has a good team. He sells clothing, obviously. And I just think that they've reached their peak with Jerry. And in order for them to win, maybe it's time for Jerry to
It'll never
take the leash off. What do you think?
Oh, I mean, everything, it's all against Cowboys, but everything you said was right because I would say, because, there's some Dak haters and there was some Romo haters. There's one common denominator in this, 28-year, 30-year stretch. It's just Jerry, and he doesn't care to make the moves. We've made one big move in my life. It was Amari Cooper. We went 3-5 in 2018 to start off, and it looked like Dak was done. At about a year and a half or 2 years after a quarterback starts, Dak had that first great year. Then he had 2017 where he was bad, and 2018 started awful. It looked like Dak was done, and Jerry finally made a big move and sent a first-round pick to the Raiders for Amari Cooper, which changed everything. We went to the playoffs, won a 9-game win streak, won the division. And since then, he's traded fifth-round picks for 35-year-old Stephon Gilmore, and then we traded a fourth-round pick this year for 30-year-old Brandon Cooks, who apparently nobody wants because he gets passed around all the time. It's Jerry, and he doesn't care because, the World Cup is coming to the AT&T Stadium. There we go. We got concerts. We got monster truck rallies. Like
He doesn't need any
it
more
doesn't
money.
matter. He doesn't need the money.
He knows how to market.
He knows he markets everything. And the Dallas Cowboys, the players we have, it's a very marketable team. Look at the team they have.
Jerry Jones said a lot about his quarterback and his coach when he went and made a trade for Trey Lance, and nobody knew what was going on. So obviously he didn't consult in them. So he's going above them, doing things, not asking questions. And what was the Trey Lance trade for then? If they're going to keep Dak, why did they go get Trey?
It means nothing then. Because the whole thing was, which I don't agree with, but if we didn't make it to the conference championship, which we didn't even make it to the second half of the wild card game, really, it was over in a quarter and a half. I was over it. The third quarter was done. It was, if we didn't make it to the conference championship, which we never do, then Trey Lance would probably start taking over Dak, which I think would have been kind of dumb. And now here we are, we're going forward with Dak. The Trey Lance, he's going to be 25 next year.
The problem with Dak is they have to pay him next year no matter what. It's coming off the dead cap. So Dak has them right where he wants them because
He's in the perfect position.
He's in the perfect position. He's either going to get $60 million or he's going to get $40 million dead cap to goes against the Cowboys. So he really has Jerry where he wants him.
Jerry can't do anything else. The only thing I would do if I was Jerry, and you can't, it won't happen. Caleb Williams kind of expressed, I don't know if he really has or it's rumors that he doesn't really want to play for the Bears. If I'm Jerry, I look at the Bears and I go, I'll give you Dak and a first-round pick for your first overall pick. I wouldn't replace Dak with Trey. I wouldn't replace him with just a maybe. I would only replace him with one of those top 3 picks. But again, you have no. I would trade that first pick and actually make a move, which we never do. But you need to go get linebackers in the draft. Our run defense. Watching the Bills game, the Dolphins ran through us. Our run defense is terrible.
You can set your watch to when Van Der Esch gets hurt.
Yeah,
he's getting hurt. You just don't know which week.
We don't even know if he's ever going to play again. We're waiting for the ghost of Jalen Smith for that one season when he was good, and Leighton Van Der Esch for that 2018 season to come back. But even when Leighton Van Der Esch has been in, our run defense has been toast. I don't know. It's hard to watch.
The reason it looked good at the beginning of the year is because you guys were up by 20 points a game and everybody had to throw the ball every down. So nobody was running the ball. So sure, the stats look great, but when teams realized, hey, we can run the ball right through you, keep your offense off the field, and you couldn't adjust. Our
pass defense, especially with Diggs back next year, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be Diggs, Bland. I don't know what you do with Gilmore. I would hope maybe you draft or find a third corner.
Send Gilmore back.
Yeah, well, that last game, Gilmore had a solid season. That last game, it looked like he'd been on his couch for 2 years.
He's past his prime.
That was done, but you have to let Pollard go because your run game was non-existent all year.
You need a guy that can get the ball 20, 25 times
I would
a game.
draft a running because we always see people like A-Chain and they're drafted second, third, fourth round. Even Pollard was fourth round pick.
Running backs go late now.
Late. So there are a lot of running backs. Brooks, Braylon Allen. I love Braylon Allen.
Yeah,
there's a lot of running backs you can go get later on. If you're going to keep that first round pick, which you should not, you should be trying to make a huge move with that first round pick. You need to get a linebacker because our linebackers are converted safeties. Like Marquise Bell was an undrafted safety who's great, and in the draft we do kill the draft. This last draft is probably the worst draft class in my Cowboys life. But if you look at that fourth round pick, Pollard, who's not great, but he was a fourth round pick. The whole line we drafted. Micah Parsons, Diggs in the second round, CD, and we have drafted a good team, but it's now time to stop trying to be cute and the safety can play linebacker, Dan Quinn's method. Go get some big linebackers that can stop the run because we can't.
But again, it's all up to Jerry, and he's going to be your downfall, and Mike McCarthy's going to be your downfall. McCarthy will lose you more games than he'll win you.
Yeah.
And like I say, there were so many coaches out there that he had a shot at. This year, there was coaches all over. The offensive coaches, you could have went and got Belichick if he wanted you.
Belichick on the Cowboys would have made, first of all, Jerry was probably sitting there that would be the biggest blockbuster Jerry could ever do. Bring Belichick into Dallas. That would have headlines. That would sell. And he just said, and I don't think Belichick would have wanted to play with Jerry.
I don't think Belichick wants to be on our team.
I don't think ever. Why would you want to be?
Belichick had a great owner in Kraft.
Yeah.
He's not going to go and work for Jerry Jones. It's
No.
a total
I'd rather
opposite.
take a year off.
Yeah, he's
we can talk about the talent, and there is talent, and I love Dak, and I think the one thing that really kind of gets me with Jerry is, while I've defended like the rosters he's put together, I do think we've had the most overrated roster for the past like 8 years.
I just cannot believe that they keep calling Dallas America's team when they haven't won.
We don't win.
And
We don't almost
25,
win.
30, this decade, you guys haven't won anything.
No, we've done nothing.
29 years to be exact.
I
We
just
don't
don't
almost win
understand why they consider themselves America's team. I know we have a lot of fans. How are they
Jerry.
America's team? It's impossible. How
Jerry's
is New England not more America's team when they won all those Super Bowls?
It's because, well, look, next year, watch every primetime game, watch every Americans game of the week. We'll always be there, even if we're bad. But we're not, and I think that's fine for Jerry. I think that's good enough that we get the primetime, that we get American
Bob
game of the week.
Costas says Kansas City's now the America's team.
I don't know.
Just
No,
saying.
they're the villains right now.
Yeah.
People hate them more than they like.
I think people might like the Cowboys more than the Chiefs right now. At least we never win. At least they don't have to worry about this.
People want to see somebody beat Kansas City, so
We'll see. Let's see about this week, and we're gonna move on to some basketball. This is another one that is close to me. There's been some trade rumors, and I want to play down the trade rumors because that's all they seem to be, rumors. But they were kind of fun to think about when it came out that LeBron had supposedly talked to Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss about he would accept a trade, and then the next day it came out that Rich Paul said there is no trade. I don't think he'll get traded. I don't think he'll ever let it happen. But what do you think?
I think the Lakers are in a terrible position.
Yes.
They're in the 7th spot in the West.
Yeah.
They don't have the talent to compete with the Clippers, the Nuggets, Oklahoma City, Phoenix.
No. Yeah.
So if they go make a trade and they give up the next few years of drafts and some young talent to go get somebody to help them,
Yeah.
they're not going to win 2 rounds against those
No.
teams. So in a way, they're in a tough spot. And if they trade LeBron, which not many teams are going to give up a lot of talent in draft picks for a guy that's probably got 2 years maximum left.
Yeah.
That they're not going to, they're in a position to be bad for years.
Yeah, they're going to be good for a long time.
I think there's only a couple of teams that might want him. Maybe the Cavaliers, maybe the Knicks go and try and get him, or maybe the Heat. Maybe he wants to go back to Miami and do a half-hour show about he's going back to Miami or whatever. It's all about LeBron, you know that. But I think he's left them in a terrible position.
Yeah.
And the trades that they've made and the draft picks they have,
Yeah.
they're in a no-win situation. And I don't honestly see him getting traded.
No.
And I could see a guy like him saying, "Hey, I ain't going there."
Yeah.
So,
he'd be,
if Oklahoma City wanted to win this year and they want to give up the farm for, the next 3 or 4 years, and they go on
I think
and
they're
get
too
him.
smart for that too, though.
But I don't think, I think they're too
Yeah,
smart.
they're
I don't
smart.
think they want to do it. What do you think?
I think you can get a dumb team like the Knicks who want to go all in, and they would love LeBron and Madison Square Garden would be like one of the best storylines ever. I think LeBron, as much as I love LeBron, I think LeBron made a terrible decision when he decided to go to the Lakers. I never understood it. I was happy that he was going to Lakers and that it was going to be this cool thing. And I guess in hindsight, it's 2020, because at that point, we were still in the whatever team LeBron goes to is probably going to go to the finals. And he started to just come down. He's still like the greatest 39-year-old we've ever seen, but he's not dominant anymore. So when they took him with a team that had Lonzo, who was young, who wasn't great either, but Lonzo, Brandon, like they had this young team that was not ready to win. He went there expecting to win. They got rid of all of those young pieces for Anthony Davis, which worked. But I think even in that bubble year, it kind of felt like they were just kind of putting pieces very slowly together. Like it didn't. I never felt like a championship team to me in the bubble. It always felt like they were just kind of getting by. And now, like they're talking about the Sixers and they talk about the Knicks as LeBron destinations. Like, who are you going to get from the Sixers? Like they said, Tyrese Maxey. I would not give up Tyrese Maxey for LeBron.
You can't give up young talent. No. The most embarrassing part I find about the Lakers is how when they won the in-season tournament, they made it go and they put a banner in the roof. Like, come on. They played so hard for the in-season tournament. This shows you that players are desperate to make extra money. That's all it was about money, because these guys don't go all out every game. So they went all out, won those games, and then ever since then, look what they've done. They've been terrible ever since. Guys are hurt. Guys aren't playing. And I think the bubble year was, again, lucky.
Yeah.
I think LeBron's one of the greatest players.
Yeah.
But he's a terrible GM. And he's cost teams, telling them who they should go get and how they should, how they should run the team. He should stick to playing, let the others do what they have to do. And I used to love the Lakers before he got there. And right now that organization, and you got the Clippers that play right in the same building that are better than you. And I think it hurts them. And I don't see them making the trade. And I would be shocked if they went and got a big name and got rid of a few players and a few draft picks.
I think maybe you get rid of D'Lo. That's the only value that you can kind of give up, because you have Austin Reeves.
Yeah,
who's been really good. If I'm them, I don't even care about the picks anymore. You know that you're not going to be good once LeBron's gone. You have LeBron and Anthony Davis right now, and for as old as LeBron is, and I just watched a LeBron 1 hour documentary last night. I kind of forgot how dominant he was from that little stretch. It was probably the best player I've ever seen, and he's not that anymore, but he's still really good. You have LeBron, AD. I would try, even though you probably won't be the Nuggets or Oklahoma City or the Clippers now that they have Harden. I would try and get another big name, but I do think this is the only team. I don't know. I think he may think the same thing. I think Rusty, from that sound of that bark, I don't think he likes LeBron. But I think this is the only team he's went to, and you looked at the moves he made and went, well, not that he made, but that he wanted, like AD, and he went, because in Cleveland they did nothing for him his first stint. And then he went to Miami and made his own thing happen. And then when he went back to Cleveland, he made sure that they got rid of the first pick to get Kevin Love, which I thought that was a great move. But I think as much as I love his IQ and as much as I love LeBron, this is the only time I'd say I think he's really put a team into
they're
garbage position.
They're backed into a corner now for years. And you know what? In the NBA, that's how it goes. Cycle. It did. They're going to be terrible for a long time. He's not going to care. And are they going to get his son when he comes out of college? That's all he's waiting for.
You might have to waste a pick. And obviously he's not putting up the numbers, but in high school and all this stuff, I like Bronny, but they're going to waste a late first on Bronny, and that would be terrible.
You can rest assured they're going to get him.
They'll make sure, and they won't get rid of him because I think we forget because they just won the championship not too long ago. The Lakers are the Cowboys and the Yankees. They are I know Dr. Buss, Jeannie Buss's dad, was an awesome owner. Jeannie Buss was a kind of a laughingstock before LeBron got there, and so was Rob Pelinka. They really didn't do much. And remember D'Angelo Russell, Nick Young Lakers, they were laughed at. They're not getting rid of who I think is and arguably is the greatest player of all time in Los Angeles. That's way too much revenue. They can be terrible. People are going to come see LeBron. I don't think they'll ever think of trading him. I know that was the rumor. It's because LeBron wore the Knicks towel, and everyone thought that he was going to get traded to the Knicks. But I do think they'll make a move. Will it be a big one? I don't know if you can. We'll see at 12 tomorrow. But I think they have to make some sort of move to try and put at least 2-3 years together. Because after that, you're going to be terrible. You're going to be a lottery team, and you won't even have those picks.
I think they'll have to do it because of him.
Yeah.
Because if they don't do anything, you're going to hear him whine for the next, week or so. But
they're not going to make it anywhere just the way they are right now.
No, they're.
And you can say get rid of LeBron, which I maybe 3 years ago that would have got you something. I don't think it's going to get you much. I think the Knicks might give up someone like Julius Randle, and I would do that if I was the Knicks. If I was the
Lakers can get that.
If you get Julius Randle back,
I'd ship him off tomorrow.
I would too. All right. I think we got time, but we're going to go to we're going to go to our last topic. This one has seemed to go by pretty quick, but we'll try and stretch this last topic out. The Super Bowl is this week. I know a lot of people are not happy with the result. Even though I love Mahomes, I'm not very happy with the result. I wanted to see something fun. Obviously, I wanted to see a different NFC team in there, but we will make our predictions. Who will win and why will Taylor Swift help in that case? That's just a joke. You're not going to answer Taylor Swift one. But who will win?
I think these are two evenly matched teams. I think that it's a rematch of 4 years ago. San Francisco let them off the hook.
Yeah.
And if it's just pure all-around talent, the Niners should win the game. I know Kansas City has the better quarterback.
Yeah.
Tight ends are pretty equal, but I think all around talent, I think San Francisco's going to win a close game. I think their defense won't let Kelsey get 10, 12 catches. I think they're smarter than that.
Yeah.
And I also think that they're smart enough to run the ball 20, 25 times. I think McCaffrey's going to have a good game. I think they're going to slow the game down so Mahomes doesn't have the ball.
Yeah.
I'm still not sold on Kansas City's defense. I know they're good. They played in the AFC. I don't think they've played a lot of great offenses. And I think that San Francisco is going to show their true colors. And hopefully my pick at the beginning of the year, San Francisco, if they didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
And I hope it's a good game.
Yeah.
And I hope we're not talking about the refs next week.
Yeah,
I hope it's
probably
the
will be.
game and not the penalties or
Yeah.
what happens with the refs. I hope it's a good game, which I can't see either team blowing anybody out.
No. Yeah.
And I think, other than people in the Midwest, I think everybody hates Kansas City and would like to see them lose. What do you think?
Everything you said is right. The Niners are the far better team. In my opinion, far better team. Like, if you look at the weapons, their offense is way better. As good as Kansas City's defense has been this year, when you look at people like Bosa and Ward and Warner, like that defense is great. Shanahan's a great mind, although, you know, we've seen him in Super Bowls blow 2 leads. Once he's obviously offensive coordinator. But even last time they were down going into the fourth. I mean, the Niners were up in the Chiefs going into the fourth quarter, and they let Mahomes come back. So even saying all that, I think the Chiefs are going to win because I think I'm going to watch the Brady movie tonight. I watched LeBron one last night. Watching those two guys, it's like I will never, ever pick against someone like Mahomes.
I'm very surprised at Vegas that San Francisco opened up at 2.
Yeah.
And the line hasn't moved. And you can rest assured people are going to start by the weekend before the game. They're going to bet on Kansas City. Now, I'm going to take San Francisco, but it's hard to bet against Mahomes.
Yeah.
I always said for years, dumb money is betting against Brady and Belichick. Even though you might think they might lose, is it really worth betting against them? And Mahomes is the same way, and Andy Reid. It's tough to bet against them, but to me, this is the year that they don't have that offense that can come back down 10, 14 points, where before you'd say, oh, they're only down 10 points, 14 points, they could score that. Their offense isn't going to carry them, where their defense has to keep them into the game. So to me, this is the perfect chance for San Francisco.
But the difference this year is it's the Kelsey Swift factor. That's the difference. They've got Taylor Swift on their side. It's like having God on your side.
Well, I have a buddy, Woody, who's a conspiracy theorist.
I had to bring it up.
He says that all the time that anybody that wins, it's fixed, blah, blah, blah. But he has said that the Chiefs will win because of Taylor Swift. What do you think?
Listen, I used to play my best hockey games when boys used to come watch, so I've seen Kelsey a couple weeks. I've been in Kelsey's exact shoes, playing in big games with a Grammy-winning artist in the stands. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I don't think it'll
Most popular woman in the world, not just the
I
Grand.
never had someone like that in my games, but I don't think it'll impact how they play. But one thing I thought was interesting: Mahomes has not played a good Super Bowl. He got Super Bowl MVP because he made some big plays.
Tampa Bay, he played terrible.
He played terrible, and he didn't. I mean, he was
And
good
that's
last.
with pressure. And I think San Francisco
They have a lot of
pressure. They have a great defensive line that can pressure him with 4 guys.
And I mean, last year he was great because he had the ankle, and he had under 200 yards passing last year.
He always has a bad ankle when they're losing. He'll limp off. You'll think that he's going for surgery at halftime. And next thing you know, he's back out the field right after. So it's a miracle what they do at halftime.
Shoot him up.
Now, I'm not saying he's faking it, but boy, it's a mystery how he comes back right away. You know, I mean, Elgin Baylor did it with the Knicks 30, 40 years ago, but it was actually true. Now, I'm not sure if Mahomes is an actor or what, but he goes right back and next thing you know, that foot's perfect.
A little bit of both. I think despite the past Super Bowls, this one will be his.
Sorry, Coop.
We're gonna have him on if they win for sure. And I'm sure about stuff. Even if they lose, I think
We're bringing Coop on. I gotta get Coop.
I think this will be Mahomes' 330-yard, 4-touchdown Super Bowl. It just makes so much sense that after 3 mediocre and 1 very bad Super Bowl, that it would just. I know it has no evidence base, but it would be very GOAT of him to carry this.
He has to play good to win this game.
Yeah, he has to have a huge game.
He has to have 2 to 3 touchdown passes, and they have to score 24 to 27 points. They're not going to get away the way they played with Baltimore.
I think
They were 17 points.
I think the winning team's going to have 30.
And, you know, I was going through my phone today, and I was going through the, what do you call those? The
Twitter?
totals, totals and over-unders and everything. And they got Taylor Swift at 20.5 for the amount of time she's going to be shown on
Times
TV.
or seconds?
No times, different times in the game. 20
got the over?
What do you think? I took the over.
I've got the under because I was watching the Ravens Chiefs game, and they only showed her when they scored. There was like 4 or 5. It was like, and there was like a couple times after they scored.
22 seconds. That's it.
22 seconds. Only 22 seconds. So I'm going under. I would love to see her on the stage when they win the Super Bowl. I'd like to see her.
Right? That would be cool. That would be cool.
I want to see everybody on
Rock
Instagram get mad. I want to see Twitter blow up. And why is this chick being showed when they're okay with LeBron being showed? I want to see everyone. I want to see everyone mad. I like seeing the world in chaos. I want to see it happen.
Well, I tell you, there are going to be a lot of haters if they win and this
That's
happens.
the thing.
It's going to in their face.
I think, and we're not going to talk about it, but I think it's a great thing. I was having dinner at my girlfriend's house for her mom's birthday, and they had the Chiefs-Ravens game on. And every time the Chiefs scored, every chick in the house ran to the TV to see if Taylor Swift was going to be on. And that was more entertaining than the game.
Well, it's the NFL. That's all they're about is marketing. That's all the NFL wants.
She had what, $335 million in revenue. She has made the richest people in the world even richer.
Wow.
God bless her.
I would have
Roger
believed.
Goodell's
I would have believed it was a conspiracy theory if she was playing the halftime show and then this happened. Then I would have maybe bought
Yeah,
it.
they settled for Usher.
Would
They got Usher,
That'd be
so
fun.
If Detroit was in the game, would they have Eminem like this? Or
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. they showed Eminem a lot. Bob Seger.
He was talking like
She
shit.
deserves the same amount as she does.
I would have to agree. But I want to see her shown. And who was it that didn't commentate the playoffs? Was it Jim Nance or Al Michaels? Because he didn't even want to talk about Taylor Swift. And so we get to hear Tony. At least we get to hear Tony Romo go crazy over everyone.
He'll drive you nuts on Patrick Mahomes. Between Mahomes and Josh Allen, you got to turn the volume down.
Yeah,
I can't stand that guy. He's loving everybody.
I love Romo as a quarterback.
Me too.
But he started to kill me.
You are sketchers. I love them.
These quarterbacks are all the best. And
Hey,
drive you nuts.
every play, if that defender didn't tackle him, every play would have went to the house. You listen to Greg Olsen and Chris Collinsworth, every play. If he didn't tackle him there, that would have went all the way. Every play. These guys are starting to kill me. But they're great. I love Greg Olsen. So you have Niners.
I got the Niners in a close game. I think it comes down to the Niners defense.
Yeah.
Keeping Mahomes in the pocket, and I don't see those receivers scaring the Niners DBs.
No.
And if they can contain Kelsey, keep him to 6-7 catches.
Yeah.
To me, they win easy because Kansas City's not going to run on them either.
Yeah. I have Chiefs and no actual evidence to go behind it. Like the Niners win in every.
They know how to win.
And they know how to win, and they have the quarterback. I think they have the better coach. I think they have the better defense, even though maybe not roster-wise. I think they have everything going for them because I'm not looking at stats when it comes to Mahomes. I'm just looking at it's Mahomes, it's Andy Reid. They're going to do it. So I can't pick against them. I think, what's the spread, 2?
Yeah.
I don't even think – I think it'll be like a 1-point game. Obviously, if the Chiefs win, it doesn't matter. But I think it'll be like a last-second thing. It'll come down to the last drive if the Chiefs win.
Well, the Chiefs got the better kicker, so that scares me a little bit. I don't trust the Niners kicker in a big situation where the Chiefs kicker is very good. I would trust him a lot more. Yeah,
Who do you got for Super Bowl MVP before we wrap this up?
Well, because I'm taking San Francisco, they're going to be a lot smarter than Baltimore.
Yes.
They're going to run the ball. They're going to control the ball. And their offensive line is going to push Kansas City's defense around just like the Bills did. So I'm going with McCaffrey to be the MVP. I see him getting 2 touchdowns, either rushing and receiving. But I see them controlling the clock. I see the receivers doing enough for San Francisco to keep the clock running. And to me, McCaffrey wins the MVP.
I think he's the best player in the second Mahomes. Either way, he's the best position skill player. If the Niners do win, I would love, even though I don't want to see the Niners pull out the Cowboys in Super Bowls, I would love to see Purdy get a Super Bowl MVP. I think that would be such a cool story. I don't think he does because I think there's way too many weapons on that team. My Super Bowl MVP is Mahomes. If I was a bettor out there, though, I would place like $5 bet on Sam Darnold. Like I saw someone place a bet on Sam Darnold in case Purdy goes
If
down.
he gets
That payout would be insane. So I would advise you to take Darnold. I've seen everyone do it, and that'd be awesome.
Win or lose, Brock Purdy, these dumb analysts on TV got to stop harping on him because there's a lot of quarterbacks that haven't won Super Bowls. This guy's in his second year. He's been the last pick in the draft. He's been to a championship game where he got hurt. Now he's in a Super Bowl. Even if he doesn't win, sure he might. If he doesn't have a great game, he's young. There's a lot of quarterbacks that haven't won, but they drive you nuts and harp on this guy for no reason just because he was the last pick. So I hope they win just for him so he can shut all these guys up and put it to rest. But win or lose, he's a winner. He's a great quarterback. He's going to deserve a big contract when it's time for him. And I hope they lay off.
Even if they don't win, the last thing I want to see is him throw like 3 picks and be the reason. I don't care what his team is. He was the last pick in the draft. He's not supposed to be good even with a good team. He's steps above what Jimmy G was for them. He was obviously better than Trey. I think Brock Purdy deserves respect. He's a great player. We did stretch out that last topic. We did pretty good. We don't need 4 topics. We're learning as we go. The pilot, we learned a lot of things.
Your producer said 3.
Yeah, we learned a lot of things. So we are going to wrap this up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel that's as official as it gets. In the
At Trash Talkin Reg E.
Trash Talkin Reg E.
Yeah.
So subscribe to that. We'll be back next week. We'll have some Super Bowl stuff to talk about. It'll be a good. I assume Jerry will say something again, and LeBron. There will be news with LeBron. So thank you for watching Trash Talkin.
I'm Reg.
I'm Ian. We'll see you next week.
Enjoy.